hour.
For another hour.
2014.
Here we go. Whoa. Boom.
Oh boy.
The magic's working. The magic's working.
Up comes the Two of Cups.
Yay.
In the upright.
Yes, so you find yourself a relationship, or you are in a relationship that is of two equals.
A true meeting of the minds.
A meeting of the
and
minds.
The hearts.
And the heart.
Mostly the hearts.
Mostly the heart. So
Yes.
you are at one with someone on a deeply emotional level. There's a connection that's made in January. You might find your soulmate.
And last month we had the Page of Cups. So maybe there's been some type of correspondence going back and forth.
There might have been.
Or maybe a mutual project. This could be someone at work.
It could be.
Someone in class. Someone who you sort of are learning with.
Right. Someone whom you consider to be your equal.
Mm-hmm. It's a really nice card.
Excellent.
If you're looking for love, this is the ultimate card to pop up in this position.
You know, sometimes this represents also contracts. Being able to shake hands on a contract.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that could be too. So there you go.
And I said I was going to put my mask on if the Two of Swords or the Eight of Swords showed up.
She just wants to put her mask on.
Yes,
That's
but no swords so far have shown up. I just have to show you.
Yes, and I have my piggy, so it's
She is
my only prop.
She is a pig. All right.
All right.
So let's see what's in the next position.
The magic
You ready?
wand.
Here we go. What do we have?
Oh. Whoa. So, you find your Prince Charming, but he's challenging in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So, something's challenging you about this partnership. And or now that you have the partnership, that you are challenged to move together and create something that is inspirational, heartfully inspirational. Your challenge is a creative project, perhaps, a deeply meaningful to you, a creative project. Or love itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always think of Barbie and Ken when I see this card. I'm sorry, I just do. Because they're a matched set, really, and you could actually buy them in the same box. So that's why it reminds me of Barbie and Ken.
And then it happened. She met Ken. And somehow she knew that she and Ken would be going together. Now Ken and Barbie meet for lunch at school, go to fraternity parties, and just relax together.
You know what I mean? They're like a matched set.
I got one of those when I was little.
Barbie doll.
It's quick curl Barbie and mod hair Ken. Brush it into a flip and it stays. Put a mustache on Ken and make believe he's the bad guy. Or sideburns and play he's the hero.
If we can work from 9 to 5 and then change in a sec for an evening with Ken.
Yeah.
Barbie and Ken. And Ken too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to make them kiss.
Well, maybe that's the problem because, you know, Ken doesn't have all of the parts that he's supposed to have. That could be the problem with this card.
I was glad they didn't have any parts.
He didn't have the parts.
I didn't know anybody had any parts.
Did you ever
back
notice
then.
that? You're like, well, where's the rest of Ken?
Captain, a most curious development on scanner 5-7.
Let's all take a look at it, Mr. Spock.
Screen on, Captain.
But anyway.
I was so naive. I thought no one had any parts.
Well, I had brothers.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So the parts, yes.
I knew they weren't there. But I have to tell you, the interesting thing about the Knight of Cups is you're like this perfectly matched set.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to take it into the arena of romance, there may be like this sort of delay, you know, this challenge to sort of switch from, hey, we're friends, we're, you know, compatriots, whatever it is, you know, compadres and compatriots mixed together. But anyway, you're like a match set.
Comrades.
So sometimes it's so perfect, it's almost hard to get that sort of passion going. You know, when you're a match set. I don't know why that comes up, but it's just Barbie and Ken to me. There you go, Sag.
Wand?
You're Barbie and Ken. You're Barbie. Where's your Ken?
That's right.
Every Barbie wants a Ken. There you go.
Uh-oh.
So in the position of the unexpected,
You can't get a moment alone.
it's the Hermit.
You cannot find any alone time.
Really?
That's what I see. In the story as it unfolds. Yeah. Because this is about being alone.
Well, okay. I mean, that is one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the mundane world, that's what it is. You know,
Right.
in your aloneness, finding enlightenment, finding wisdom, finding, but you have to separate yourself from the herd.
Well, the way I see it, it's like there's some sort of, in this situation with these two people who are trying to make it happen and get it on sort of thing, there's this sort of not agreeing upon, like, God. That's sort of how I see it. Who God is, what the path to God is. Their path is different than your path. Even though you're on the same page.
That's a very interesting interpretation of it. Could very well be that too.
So God, okay, let's talk about God, okay. So God is in here, right? And sort of like your value system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to see a relationship or like have the same path when your inner world sort of is different, I guess. But anyway, to me, it's like pathways to God. That's what I see. And I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, it's just sort of working that out.
Okay.
I mean, that's an option.
All right.
That's a possibility. But then again, the other thing I see is like a little bit of spirituality interrupted here.
Yes.
Unexpectedly.
So it takes you off your spiritual path, as relationships will.
Yeah, it's like girl interrupted only.
Right.
It's like guru
I mean,
interrupted.
people are devoted to, doing their meditation and
Right.
reading spiritual things, and then they meet Mr. Right, and they never do any of that anymore.
Right, or they're just not able to do it right now unexpectedly.
Unexpected.
Because it's in the position of the unexpected.
Right. So that is a very legitimate interpretation of that. I see it as not being able to carve out any alone time.
Which is kind of what you just said.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is the
so-
same sort of like if you had a spiritual practice, if you were
Right.
practicing yoga, meditation,
Right.
those types of things, then it's like not girl interrupted, but guru interrupted.
Guru interrupted.
I have to say that twice because she didn't hear me the first time.
I didn't.
And I think I'm so witty that I really have to say it more than once. So
Yes. Buddha said you have to say things 3 times for
Oh,
anybody to
so
hear
let
it.
me say it one more time. Guru interrupted. There you go. He'd be happy.
All right.
All right, here we
Yes.
go.
Oh, the wand.
The wand. Here we go. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, all right.
Let's see.
Oh my. So they're going to court.
That has nothing to do with anything.
No, justice, upright. What in the heck? So somehow...
It's a partnership. Let's go back to that.
It could be that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a partnership.
So you have to...
Shake hands.
Shake hands and do it legally.
Mm-hmm.
So something has to go from a mere shaking of hands to something legal. So you have to involve an institute of some sort, a greater body of knowledge and knowing.
Mm-hmm. And so this sort of brings up a whole new sort of meaning to the reading because this is like a major arcana card and it's coming up at the very end. And it really doesn't have anything to do with a partnership. Because love partnerships can become legal contracts, yes.
Yes, they can.
Absolutely. So maybe you're in a partnership with somebody who actually you work with, or there may be this sort of some feelings that are emotional, but there's also this sort of working together thing going on at the same time, and something about that will cause you to sort of it diverts you a little bit. It takes you a little bit off your spiritual game.
Right.
Puts you in the center of contracts.
Right.
And,
That's very, yes. And the only other thing I can see in it on a sort of a less mundane level is that perhaps there's a investigation of the merits of the situation that you've entered into. You know, if it isn't necessarily in an institution legally, but you're sort of weighing up the facts, which is what is done in court.
Right, right.
The truth of something. You're trying to establish the truth of something.
Yeah, you look at the evidence.
So you look at
what
the
is
evidence.
the evidence?
What is the evidence? And
Right.
so you're kind of perusing the evidence, and you're feeling, I think, a little bit off your game spiritually, because you have to be so analytical.
And because this situation, maybe, you know,
You'd like to believe in
we've got
other
this
words?
Partnership. This could very well be just about a partnership.
Right, it could very
It
well.
could be about a LLC, about a corporation. It's tax time.
Oh, yes.
Let's go back to that.
Yeah, it's tax time.
And you're
too.
not feeling the love in the partnership, which
Right.
is what we have here in this situation.
Right.
So you're feeling as if maybe at the end of the year, not as spiritual,
Not as spiritual.
because you're dealing with an issue that causes you to become a little bit more analytical.
Right, because you're weighing up the truth of something.
Yes.
So that is something that occurs near the end of the month.
But it's in the upright.
But it's in the upright.
And it goes
so
in your favor.
It does. It does.
And it also means that it's a good partnership because we have an upright too.
Right, it's a very good
Of
partnership.
cups.
Right.
You know, there are little bumps in the road or
Right.
wrinkles in every
And-
partnership or
And
relationship.
maybe the partnership is also depriving you of your spiritual time.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
But
just
it
for
is,
a while.
but in general, it's a really, really good reading.
Yes. So there you go.
So how do you maintain fairness? And that's really what this is.
Yeah. It's about
Maintaining fairness.
Yeah. So maybe the partnership goes legal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's fair? I mean, that's
What's
like
fair?
going in and incorporating.
Right. Going
Yeah.
in and incorporating.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's very nice.
Yes.
Very
so-
nice. It's all in the upright. It's all really great.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a tough reading. It was kind of a tough, confusing reading.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
But so many positive things here. Wonderful things.
yes, and turn this hermit around as soon as you can.
Yeah.
So if you would like a private reading, because as we mentioned before, we read for every Sagittarius in the land
And the sky.
and the sea,
And the sea.
then you would like to, I'm sure you would like to, go to virtualtarot.wordpress.com where you can peruse the menu, choose a reading that resonates with you, pay for that reading, shoot us an email at avatrudy@yahoo.com, and what do you do then, Ava?
I say hi. And I tell you when you can expect your reading. That's basically how it is. And then the magic begins.
So there you go. And if you'd like to subscribe to a council card, click the link below. You can get some more information on this 4-card spread, Major Arcana only, archived 3 months back.
Yeah. It's quite a deal.
Quite a deal. And should we wrap this up?
We should.
We need some subscribers. We're really close to
We're
10,000.
We're close.
So anyway, you could be the 10,000th subscriber.
Yes. The 10,000th subscriber.
And if you are the 10,000th subscriber, you get a free reading.
Woo! Burning question.
Burning question.
Right. You get a burning question.
She's the
So
accountant.
subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
Yes. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
You want to blow them out?
We'll blow them out.
All right. Bye.